Constitution's just a ghost in chains. Freedom slipping down the drains. Rise up, break the chains. No billionaire should run the game. Lying, scheming, stealing rights. If we don't fight, we lose tonight. End of democracy comes in waves. Justice buried in shallow graves. Stand up loud, don't be the slaves. Unmake the cage, unmake the cage. Tick tock, time's running out. They're burning the laws, there ain't no doubt. Oh no, America, what you gonna do? Rights getting burned and they're coming for you.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in to The Apocalypse, brought to you live by Facebook. Thanks, guys, for tuning back in. This is Oh No America, and I'm your host, Nora Ames, and thanks for being here. If you guys have not yet subscribed to this amazing sauce broadcast, please do. Please do. And please like this stream. Thank you, Aaron. What's up? What's up? We're here. I'm queer, and we're going to get into it. Yeah. So today is the 100th day of actual living hell in America. And as you guys saw from the thumbnail, if you check that out, this meeting was wild. To celebrate, to kick off the celebration of 100 days of, diet fascism here in America that is slowly becoming fully caffeinated and fully sugared. We had the, open and transparent cabinet meeting, which, of course, whenever the Trump administration says that something is facts, open, transparent, forthcoming, we should all know without a shadow of a doubt that means the direct opposite. Okay. This cabinet meeting had it all. Mostly the sycophants and co-conspirators of burning and destroying the Constitution at every turn were filled there, and they are not backing down, y'all. They are not changing their mind. They are not wavering in their completely cult devotion to Donald J. Trump and MAGA and Project 2025. Let's dive in to this madness. I'm just going to show you some highlights. We are not going to watch this whole 2 hours, but I want to point out some very crazy things that happened because I watched this so you didn't have to. All right, here we go. Let me pull it up on the screen here. Here, of course, let's just get started. We're going to do it. Just brace yourself.
Not only at the border was more obvious, but we took over his mess in so many different ways. Core GDP, removing distortions from imports, inventories, and
okay. I want you to know if I had been doing a drinking game while watching this, every time somebody mentioned Biden, I would be dead now. I would have alcohol poisoning. I would be having my stomach pumped. This administration has been in office for 100 days, not 10 days, not 2 weeks, 100 days. And he still can't stop talking about Biden. He still can't stop. None of his secretaries don't mention Biden. Okay. Now, I want you to notice that he is flanked immediately on his left by, of course, Pete Hegseth, everyone's favorite white supremacist drunk uncle, Pete Hegseth. And on his right is, of course, Marco Rubio. I don't know why those two people are the ones flanking him, but those are the two people that he is, I think, trying to remain the most in control of. And then it sort of like spreads out from there. It's just like the people he's worried about, I think, are sitting least worried about, minus Elon Musk, are like sort of farther from him. And he really wants to, he had all the ladies in front of him so he could just very easily look at them. But I want you guys to notice he's going to talk for just a tiny bit here, and then he's going to introduce Pete Hegseth. But I want you to notice how quickly he gets bored. And as you guys can see, I'm going to move my Cheeto in chief here. I just want everyone to note that right here, okay, Okay, he's the only person that has his cup of water, which, by the way, he does not touch for the entire meeting, on this little platform here, right? Can you guys see this little platform? Does everybody see? Does everybody see that little red button? That's his Diet Coke button. He has to bring the button with him everywhere so that when he feels like it, he just pushes that and somebody walks in with a Diet Coke for him. Yeah. Everybody else is like drinking tea or coffee out of very special looking cups. And most everybody is drinking their water, except for, of course, drunk uncle here. Water? Ew. Gross. All right, let's get into it.
And government spending was up plus 3% when you add it. We had numbers that, despite what we were handed, we turned them around, and we were getting them really turned around. Gross domestic investment was a whopping 22%. Now, that
We're going to get all kinds of incorrect numbers here, guys. They are not correct. They do not reflect the actual economy.
is a number that people are coming in at numbers. For instance, I just walked in, I heard Samsung is now, because of the tariffs, they're going to build massive facilities in the United States.
That is, for those of you who need a translation, Samsung. But of course, Trump has called it Samsung, like it's a person. Hey, can you guys get Samsung in here? I would love to talk to him. He's fantastic. Guys, I have very publicly disclosed my weight. I'm over 200 pounds. Okay? That man, and I'm 5'5". Now, he is about 6 feet tall. Okay? There is no way he is only 220 pounds. There's a 0%. They took the 320 and made it 220. My God.
United States. If we didn't do the tariffs, they wouldn't be doing that. So it takes a little while to get those facilities
And we're going to hear the word tariffs a lot.
built, but they're coming in with big numbers. They're all coming in with big numbers.
Sure.
We have more money being spent than at any time in the history of our country. We're up to close to $8 trillion, I think I can say. And really, it's going to be
Notice PBS has the title at the top. Trump holds cabinet meeting as economy shrinks by 0.3%. Yeah, our economy is shrinking every day. It's not good. Let's keep going here.
a lot higher than that. Those are just the ones that we know about. $8 trillion. I'm not going to say, but I'm not sure if Biden did $1 trillion for 4 years, $1 trillion. But we're at $8 trillion for 2 months, because let's give us a pass on the first month. We were sort of.
So he keeps saying that the GDP and the stock market can't be accurately measured in January because he took office on January 20th. So January really shouldn't count for him in the statistics. No one counts it like that. You can just look at the first 100 days, sir. All the days you've been here since you swore an oath on nothing because you didn't put your hand on the Bible. You are responsible for these last 100 days. It has nothing to do with Joe Biden.
Getting a little bit used to things, right? But after 2 months, we have $8 trillion. There's never been a number like that. And that includes chip companies, car companies.
So sir, you've been in office February, March, we're at the end of April. That's 3 months. 3 months. 3.5 months. You've been in office. It's 100 days. There's 30 days on average in a month. 90 days would be 3 months. 10 more days plus that is like 3 1/3 months. But he's going to tell us how many numbers we have. And he doesn't even know how long he's been in office.
Every form of manufacturing, high-tech companies, nobody's ever seen anything like it. So $8 trillion. I can talk about gross domestic product, gross domestic investment. I can talk about a lot of things, but to me, the biggest numbers are the kind of numbers that are, and these people are coming in.
Notice all the hats, guys. There is a hat for every secretary. Every single one is doing an Oprah here. And the hats say Gulf of America. There's the American flag on one side, and on the other side, it's 47 and then 45, because it's got to be Trump's entire reign of terror on there. Okay? Yeah.
Our Secretary of Commerce spent the weekend. He went down to Arizona to see what was happening with the biggest chip company in the world. And he said, Howard, you've never seen anything like it. You want to just describe what you saw?
So they're investing $165 billion in 1,100 acres in Arizona, and they're building the highest tech chip.
This is NVIDIA. No one knows the name of the company. Nobody knows that it's NVIDIA and it's not a chip manufacturer. NVIDIA makes video processing cards. So it's not, yeah.
Manufacturing semiconductors and 4,000 employees. American tradecraft, right? Technicians.
Now, will they be using visas to import workers from the factories they already have? And will those people get a golden visa or not?
Doing every kind of work. The classic foundation of America is building it. They had 14,000 people. They're expecting 40,000 people to build the rest of their plants and to employ 20,000 people.
40,000 people for the construction and 4,000 people to work inside that plant. And it'll be ready in 7 years. Yeah, it won't even. But you guys forget, Trump's running for a third term.
For the rest of the time. This is all driven.
You never saw a site like that.
And this is all driven by your tariff policies.
Never saw
no
a
chance
site like
to
that.
that.
It's going to be about.
I guess no one remembers what Detroit looked like in the 50s. You guys, everyone in this room, minus Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, and J.D. Vance, were all alive to see the boom of Detroit when auto manufacturers were actually there. You've never seen anything like it? We've had this many times in America. We had the auto boom. We had the steel boom. We've done this. This isn't new. You didn't invent this. This is the propaganda, though, guys. I want you to witness propaganda in real time here.
40% of the chip market from that one section, and this is the biggest chip maker. They have 99.
Yeah, that's because NVIDIA makes the best video card, converters.
9% of the market. They come from Taiwan, and unlike the CHIP Act, which was done by Biden, where they hand everybody billions of dollars, the thing they don't need is money. They got plenty of money. What they need is an incentive to come in, and the tariffs, they're building because of the tariffs. If without the tariffs, and I like to say,
look at Marco, whoever he is, with his fucking Chuck Schumer glasses. Look at him trying to look like he's studying something right now instead of listening to Trump.
Building because of November 5th, the election and the tariffs. But I'm going to be a little more blunt.
Pete is not. He hasn't had a drink yet, so he's kind of like a little bit out of it. You can tell. Look at who wears a camo tie, except for the guys on Duck Dynasty at a wedding. Who wears a camo tie?
Building because of the tariffs, and November 5th gave them the tariffs. So it's amazing when you look. And these are not companies that go out and say, well, we're going to build, we have to go get our financing. Let's go. Like we would, in New York, everybody would look, you get a building site, and then you'd look around for money, you'd look around for financing for 6 months, you can get your financing. You'd build your building, the market would be good, you'd make money, the market would be bad, it wouldn't be so pretty, you'd have to negotiate, blah, blah, blah. This is different. These people have so much money, they don't know what to do. They are, I asked Howard.
Yeah, NVIDIA doesn't need us.
They say that site.
But I love how he doesn't know the person who runs it, or he doesn't know the name of the company.
And they just started, they just announced it like a month ago, and they've already started. He said, I've never seen a site like it so big. So, you're talking about essentially a $50 billion building. Now, if you build a warehouse for $50 million, that's a big warehouse, Scott. But a $50 billion building, that's a lot. They're building the electric, they've become a utility. And I'm giving them the right to become. They're going to build their own electric, they're going to build their own.
Oh, good. Let's give a foreign company the right to become their own electric company, because we wouldn't want American electric companies to we already have infrastructure. Fuck the infrastructure. They get to make their own infrastructure. What?
Electricity, which they need tremendous amounts of electricity. They're going to build it themselves. Anything they have left over, they'll hook that into the grid. But the grid is old and they're unreliable and bad things can happen to grids. I said, if you want, you can hook into the grid, but that's a little bit risky.
Grids are old and they're unreliable. Good. Just tell the rest of the world, please attempt to hack our grid like you guys just did in Europe. And same result. What a fucking idiot.
Or you can build your own electricity and become your own utility. And they, I think in all cases, are deciding to do that. So it's very exciting.
I just want to know what they're going to build their own electricity with in the middle of the Arizona desert, other than solar. And then why aren't we duplicating that for America?
And we have a lot of things going. We took over on January 20th. These are quarterly reports. We took over on January 20th. The tariffs haven't kicked in yet. I know that, and I don't want this to happen, but
the tariffs haven't kicked in yet, guys, but they're already working because I'm the best.
Know that China's doing very poorly right now. I just saw some reports coming out, and I don't want that to happen to China. I like the president a lot, President Xi. I don't want it to happen.
President
I was
Xi
actually
is
sad to
suffering
hear
a lot.
Taiwan, and unlike the CHIP Act, which was done by Biden, where they hand everybody $50 billion building, that's a lot. They're building China because we're not taking their product. We don't want their product
We
Unless they're gonna
don't want their product. Okay, so here's the situation, guys. The population of America is a fraction of the population of China. Truth be told, okay, we consume a lot of their bullshit. That's just facts, and we waste 90% of it, goes into landfills and then ends up in the ocean and then ends up in places like Indonesia where they burn it for heat and to cook their food on, and they're poisoning themselves to death. It's awesome. It's just totally awesome. Capitalism. Whoop. But the truth be told, China is the largest manufacturer of everything around the world. Okay. And if we're not going to buy their shit, they will fucking discount it for other countries, and other countries will be very happy to buy their shit at a discounted cost. All we are doing is creating scarcity and lack of goods here in the United States. Okay. Guys, we've already had Walmart sound the alarm. We've had Target sound the alarm, which, by the way, if you guys didn't know, Target gave $1 million to the Trump inauguration fund. So the next time you're making that Target order, maybe don't. Those two companies, two of the biggest, grocers, pharmaceutical suppliers, etc., on planet Earth, have said, hey, Mr. President, these tariffs really suck, and we are not going to have stuff. We are going to have empty shelves. That's one thing. But when Domino's guys, Domino's is like, bitch, we don't have shit. We are not going to be able to make pizza. We will not have enough flour to make pizza. We will not have tomatoes to make pizza. Guys, we're going to have a pizza shortage in America. Okay. UPS is laying off 40,000 workers right now and closing 78, hubs across America. Why? Because Amazon isn't selling enough right now. So they don't have a need for all these delivery drivers and all these other people. Okay? Like this, guys, this is going to be the worst case scenario. Somebody, an economist just said that the best case scenario that we can have right now, okay, is a recession. That's the best case scenario. That we go into a recession a la 2008, but worse. That's the best case scenario. Probably won't happen. We are headed into Depression era times, guys. Okay? If your feed has been like my feed on YouTube, on TikTok, on all these places that are just giving you like weird survivalist ads, like buy this book and learn how to milk the air for water, and all this stuff, right? That is because the algorithm knows, the AI knows that we have just fucked ourselves at the drive-thru, America. Okay? Like literally, we have fucked ourselves at the drive-thru. Okay? And it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing, but also going to be devastating. Now, he goes around the table. We're going to start with his introduction here in a second, but he goes around the table and they all give little highlights. I'm going to skip to the introductions here.
be fair with us, and that includes intellectual property and other things. There are a lot of things far beyond just buy. And like so many things,
Oh, I want you to hear his
controversial
introduction
person
of Pete Hegseth here.
they're turning around in the Pacific Ocean. They're doing a big U-turn and going back because they don't want the goods because
Yeah, the shipping containers are turning around in the middle of the Pacific. Guys, they're not coming to America because they don't want to pay the tariffs. So they're going back to China. That means our dock workers are going to be laid off. The truckers are going to be laid off. I'm pretty sure those guys are union. Sounds like people need to get out and protest tomorrow. And don't forget, guys, tomorrow's May Day. Huge protest nationwide. If my mods can drop, let me pull up the link here 1 second. And then we'll just keep sharing this because the May Day protest tomorrow, guys, as far as I'm concerned, this is not, this is, I would like to, thank you. Good God. This is mandatory. It's mandatory as a human being for all of us to be out there. It's mandatory as a society. We need to get out there. Let me pull it up here. May Day. There we go. Maydaystrong.org. Maydaystrong.org. I got to let my dogs out of here. I brought them in here. What's happening? Why are we sad? Toby, go lay down. Go lay down. Here we go. Boom. Okay. So that's, let me put up on the sharesies here so you guys can see it. You can go to that and you'll be able to find your local protest tomorrow. Okay. Definitely find your protest. Okay. It's going to be over 1,000 protests here in America. Every state is having protests tomorrow. Listen, we do not have time to pussyfoot around with democracy, guys. Okay. We do not have time. We are out of time. We are not even in overtime. We are just like rushing the court. We are rushing the field because we have to take over this game because we are the ones that are getting dunked on. We are the ones who are, getting fucked right now. So you go out and protest tomorrow. Call in sick. Do not go to work. Go to the protest. Okay. It starts at 1 p.m. pretty much nationwide, 1 p.m. your time, and goes till 4:30 p.m. Okay. So by the time the ones on the East Coast are wrapping up, the ones on the West Coast are starting. And so it's going to be like an entire solid afternoon, evening of protests here in America. I'm going to be out there covering it live tomorrow. And it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day because we need to show up for democracy. Okay. We need to show up for democracy. Let's get back to this mess here that we're in the middle of watching. All right. Here's his introduction for Pete Hegseth.
But at a certain point, I hope we're going to make a deal with China. We're talking to China, but their factories are closing all over China because we're not.
False. The factories are not closing all over China. Absolutely not. They are not closing in China because they're still making.
Not taking their product. We don't want their product unless they're going to be fair with us, and that includes intellectual property and other things. There are a lot of things far beyond just buy sell. So we'll see what happens. But I was not, because somebody said, "Well, were you happy?" I said, "I am not happy. I want China to do well. I want every country to do well." But they have to treat us fairly also. So
to do well.
That, I think we're going to maybe go around, and we have some letters where the secretaries and people around the table are making statements about how they're doing and what's happening.
Yeah, everybody's going to talk about. So now we're going to get a wide shot so you can see all the people here
on the left because he's my least controversial person.
Least controversial person. So hilarious. This man should be in jail for treason forever. Forever. He has leaked more information in 100 days than the Rosenbergs did. Does anybody remember the Rosenbergs who got arrested in the 50s as part of the McCarthy era because they were selling secrets to Russia? This man has given more information to the entire world than them. And they were professional spies. I'm probably saying their name wrong, but anyway. Yeah. The married couple from the 50s that got McCarthy'd, and they were spies for Russia. Somebody help me out. Anyway, let's listen to Pete here for a second.
No, they don't know how good he is. So we'll go around the table and you can hear it.
Here's the drunk cosplay Ken to give us an update.
These are cabinet meetings where they're very open.
Trump
and
really
transparent.
likes him though.
I can guarantee you Biden didn't do this.
He likes him better than his own kids.
He didn't do this. Go ahead, Pete.
Well, Mr. President, I think we're controversial because we're over the target. And
we're over the target.
And like so many things, Mr. President, you inherited a demoralized military that couldn't recruit. It was perceived this week after what happened in Afghanistan and elsewhere because of Joe Biden. And what we have.
See, there's the first Joe Biden. Then he goes on to thank the president. Blah, 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 blah. And then we're going to go to Lutnick.
Gets to recruit these companies, and you've never seen anything like the companies committed to building in America.
Let's go back a little second here.
We're making military great again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Howard? So I have the pleasure of running the investment accelerator, which gets to recruit these companies, and you've never seen anything
He's the Secretary of Commerce. I want you to hear his anecdote.
like the companies committed to building in America.
It was the Rosenbergs. Okay, I got it right. Thank you.
Technology companies have committed over $2.5 trillion to build in America based on your tariffs, right? Sovereign countries, all backing, the whole Middle East and all these countries backing their sovereign
Oh, yeah, the whole Middle East. The whole Middle East is backing this.
funds. They all want to invest in America, and they're coming in, again, over $3 trillion committed. So just those two topics, you're at $5.5 trillion, and then you've got...
We're at 5.5 trillion, guys. For what? They're going to buy up some more farmland so our farmers can't farm, and all of that shit's going to get exported to another country? What the fuck are they actually doing here? We already have Saudi Arabia owning a swath of fucking Arizona and pumping all of the water out to grow alfalfa to export to their fucking horses in Saudi Arabia because they already made Saudi Arabia a worse desert by pumping out all of the groundwater. Okay? So they had to go to another country to steal their water to grow the shit for them. And then on top of that, we've got them buying up Wisconsin like mad, you know, and other farm areas because, you know, there's no water rights problem for them there. So we're just becoming an exporter of our own production here. That's not for us. What's up, artful colorist?
The whole pharma industry knows it's got to come home because America pays for...
The pharma industry has to come home. First of all, other countries also have scientists and chemists that develop things because they're funded by their government to make these discoveries. Unlike here, where we have just stripped funding for massive amounts of research, including a wonder kid in college who was making a huge breakthrough on cancer, who we've just unsummarily deported from the country, who is legally here. But science, right? We care about that.
For all the drugs in the world. So the pharmaceuticals have to come home, right? Auto's coming home, industrial's coming home. So, you know...
Auto's coming home, industrial's coming home.
We've got to train, and your great Secretary of Labor together and Secretary of Education together, we're going to train the workforce to build America.
We're going to train the workforce to build America. Listen up, poors. You're the workforce. All of that college dreams and getting a diploma and, you know, doing all the things you dream about, fuck that. You're the workforce. And by the poors, I mean anyone who isn't a billionaire. Okay? Let's get it straight. The uber rich, the people sitting around this table right now who get untold riches from lobbies, they're all wearing Rolexes, some adorned with diamonds, you know, or, you know, other fancy, you know, Cartier, Patek Philippe, you know, these types of really fancy watches that you've never heard of. One of those watches costs more than I've ever made, probably combined in my entire life. Okay. And these are the people that are telling you and me, the American public, how we are going to live our lives now. Yeah. We're going to train the American workforce. Hang on.
Unbelievable. We've got so much, as I travel around, the attention on the Trump Gold Card. I mean, it makes me very popular. Last night,
for those of you out of the loop, the Trump Gold Card is something Trump has proposed that's not approved by Congress or legal, that he wants to create a golden visa that if you pay $5 million, I guess to just anybody in the government, you get an all access pass to being a citizen. It's like getting the golden buzzer on America's Got Talent, except for you get to be a citizen.
I was out to dinner and someone came up and said, can I buy 10? And how do I...
Can I buy 10? Can I buy 10 golden visas? That's $50 million. just asked casually at a dinner. When was the last time any one of you was at dinner and somebody just asked if they could buy $50 million worth of something, just as an aside? Oh, hey, Secretary Lutnick, I see you enjoying your lobster bisque there. Just real quick, as I'm passing by to go to my table to have, caviar, is it possible to get 10 golden visas? Do you guys have like a cap per family? Who do I write the check to? Do I write the check to you? Or is that just to Trump? How does that work?
Buy 10, and I'm like, it's pretty good. It's $50 million for dinner. So, I was paying for my dinner.
Paying for my dinner. It's paying for my dinner. We're going to skip all the other people here in the interest of time. Sitting next to him is, God, what is he talking about?
If you don't follow the law, if you're giving license to illegals, if you're having DEI policies.
Right. He's talking about how they're cutting the funding for any state or city that is operating as a sanctuary city. Or if you have DEI policies in place, you will not get federal funds. Just as a note. Okay. Moving on. Then we have the other guy who's doing something else. These are all just bajumba dudes talking about. Now, over and over and over again, the theme that happens over and over and over again is everybody thanks Trump for being so great, for making America awesome, blah, 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 blah. And then they thank Elon, who's in the room. And we're going to skip. There's all these people. Thanks, Trump. Thanks, Elon. Thanks, Trump. This guy. This is the Secretary of HUD.
Because we do have a housing.
And if you have DEI in place, you don't get no HUD. If you are not using your assigned sex at birth, you don't get no HUD. And you have to be an American citizen. Okay. Or you cannot get affordable housing. There you go. You don't get he's basically said you don't get the American dream if you're not an American. The whole point, guys, the whole point of the American dream is that for people to come here and be successful and build a life and become American. It was never just an insular thing for just kidding. You can't join our secret club. You don't know the password. Like what? What in the actual frack? Okay. Then this lady just absolutely can't stop talking. This is the USDA lady. And then, of course, we have, the Grim Reaper sitting next to her who wants to lie to us about the economy every day. And then, of course, J.D. Vance, who basically repeated have you even said thank you yet? That was his whole speech. Okay. And then, of course, we have blonde Elvira wannabe Pam Bondi next to JD, who you guys have to hear what Pam Bondi said because it's one of the most frightening things that was said.
Far exceeded that of any other presidency in this.
Rather than what's really going on in the country, I think that what we've shown, sir, is that you can do a lot. You can do a lot in 100 days, but you've also unfortunately revealed that too much of the American media hasn't learned the lessons of the past 40 years. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
President, your first 100 days has far exceeded that of any other presidency in this country. Ever. Never seen.
Yes, it's far exceeded the criminality, the unconstitutionality, and the fascism of any former American president. Absolutely unprecedented fascism, unprecedented, non-American activity. It's just fabulous.
Anything like it. Thank you. Your directive to me was very simple. Make America safe. And
make America safe.
Despite that, we've still been defending over 200 civil lawsuits filed against you.
Correct. There are over 200 civil lawsuits filed against Trump as an individual. 200. And now she's his personal lawyer that we pay for with our tax money.
On top of everything else, I think I'm representing every one of you in this room.
Uh-oh, hot dog. Is the whole cabinet under fire for illegal stuff? What?
In some capacity.
Now, that's not Kristi Noem next to Pam. That's Kristi Noem with glasses. And then actual Kristi Noem is a couple people down. I don't know who this lady is, but she loves Trump, too. And she also looks like Kristi Noem with glasses.
I know you will not be arrested by the U.S. Marshals.
So she just said out loud that no matter what President Trump does, he will not be arrested by U.S. Marshals. The law will not be the law for that man. Let me repeat that. The law is not the law for Donald J. Trump or any one of those people in that room. The U.S. Marshals are being headed by that woman over there and are being told to not arrest him or anyone else, even though they are a criminal racketeering conspiracy right now.
200 lawsuits, over 50 injunctions, and now we've got multiple cases in front of the Supreme Court, and we will succeed, and we are doing great in front of the Supreme Court.
Oh, is that so? Is that so?
President, and we'll continue on with that. I was at DEA yesterday.
No, you were at the DEA.
And they said to me, you, Donald Trump, have taken the handcuffs off of DEA agents. And as a result of, since you have been in office, President Trump, your DOJ agencies have seized more than 22 million fentanyl pills.
People are still dying of fen-phen.
3,400 kilos of fentanyl since you've been your last 100 days, which saved, are you ready for this, media? 258 million lives.
Where are we getting these numbers from? How did that save 258 million people? There's only 330 million people in America. Okay. I'm just going to do some quick math. So somehow 70 or so million people, 80 million people roughly, are not on drugs. Okay. But 258 million people in America are currently taking drugs. I don't think that's the actual number. 258 million. That's 2/3 of the American population. Over 2/3. It's like 4/5, or I don't know. I'm doing the wrong math. Maybe it's 3/4 of the American population. And she's saying that they're all we're gonna die from drugs. 3/4 of the American population were going to die from drugs, according to Pam Bondi. And seizing this fen-phen has saved 3/4 of the American population. Am I to believe that my Nana and Pop are on the streets looking for, gabapentin and it's laced with fen-phen? I mean, like, what? That the number doesn't number, Pam.
Kids are dying every day because they're taking this junk laced with something else.
This is now what she's saying right here is true. There are children and other adults dying every day because mostly kids, but a lot of adults are buying, drugs that they need that they can't afford the prescription for, or they're taking it, to do whatever stuff like Adderall and other things that she's going to mention off of TikTok or fucking Instagram, right? Where they can buy it for a few bucks if they need to just get through a fucking test or something. And yes, they're getting fucked. They're getting dead. Some kids are going to a party and smoking a joint for the first time, and it's laced with fentanyl, right? So it's not just Adderall and other things that kids buy off the street. And it's not mostly kids that are buying that. I said that earlier, but I misspoke. It's actually adults. Adult drug addicts are dying. Homeless adults are dying every day. And now they've removed the Narcan program. Narcan saves lives. That's a fact. And they've cut that because they don't actually care about saving lives, especially not of homeless people.
They don't know what they're taking. They think they're buying a Tylenol or an Adderall and a Xanax, and it's laced with fentanyl, and they're dropping dead. And no longer because of you, what you've done. ATF, since you've been in office, President, along with DOJ agencies.
Why did she call him president? It's Mr. President. It's just so weird.
Seized 14,500 guns off the streets. Why aren't people reporting that? 651,000 rounds of...
They seize them off the streets. Well, how about the people who have 20 million guns? How about the guns from the mass shooters? How about the guns from, serial killers like the guy on Long Island? I mean, like, come on.
Ammo. That's up 151% from 2024. That's keeping America safe.
No, it's not, because the gun manufacturers are popping those things out like they're fucking Tic Tacs, and people can get them everywhere. It's ridiculous. Go to Big Five, get a gun, along with some fucking discount New Balance dad shoes.
We've rescinded death penalty. We are now seeking the death penalty on cases. I'm signing death warrants.
Guys, the death penalty is back. It's back, baby. And better than ever. We're going to be killing more people in America than ever before. We are going to make death penalty great again. What? Okay, so she goes into full Nazi mode there. Okay, so this is literally, guys, tell me I'm wrong. This lady looks like Kristi Noem with glasses. Okay, there she is. And then we go to this guy who forgets that he was a human and he doesn't know how to speak. And then we go to actual Kristi Noem, whose lip filler is so out of control. Her lips are beyond her nose. What is going on? Okay, and then this part here. Now I want to make a note that Elon has had 2 hats on for the entire meeting. We are an hour into this meeting, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is what Elon Musk looked like for an hour of this meeting. Please observe.
Economy, it's the heartbeat of our communities. It's the small businesses that helped elect you because they needed your economic agenda. So thank you, Mr. President. It's such an honor, and congratulations on an epic 100 days.
Hang on.
I have to thank Elon. I do want to note we just got $3 billion in contracts because of Doge's work. That's $3 billion.
Thanks, Doge. She got $3 billion somehow. No, you didn't.
Hardworking families that won't have to work until April 15th to pay for the waste, fraud, and abuse that we continue to find in this government on behalf of taxpayers. So again, thank you, Elon.
Thank you. Good job, Kelly. Thank you very much.
Now just watch. Elon's now making eye contact with Trump for the first time in this meeting.
Elon, I love the double hat, by the way.
I love the double hat, by the way. He knows that's not a compliment.
He's the only one that can do that.
He says he's the only one who can do that.
Well, Mr. President, they say I wear a lot of hats. That's true. Even my hat.
They say I wear a lot of hats. Even my hat has a hat.
Has a hat.
So look how quickly he looks at Trump again and can tell he's displeased. And so he takes it off to make his statement. He waited an hour, you guys. That man waited an hour to make a joke about his hat wearing a hat, and then decided to be whatever he is. It's not professional. But he decided to do that. Right? Yeah, okay. Hang on. Let me handle the dogs real quick here. 1 second. Come on. You guys want to go back inside? All right. One. Toby. One. 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 Oh. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. As you can see, this 100-day cabinet is a total joke. It's beyond a total joke, okay? This is what we're dealing with in America. We're dealing with sycophants, propagandists, and complete criminals who are running their own private criminal enterprise in the guise of the American government while stripping away all of our rights and making billions, making literal billions. Really quickly, because I have another stream that's supposed to have started a minute ago here on my other channel, guys. I just want to show you, this is what Trump, this is Truth Social, of course. Okay, this is what he's talking about. So here's him promoting his cabinet meeting right under that. Donald Trump celebrating the first 100 days of his second term. Some puff piece on Fox. Uh-oh, there was an earthquake in Myanmar. Okay. The case we have against 60 Minutes, CBS, and Paramount is a true winner. Okay, this is right after the meeting took place, because then he put the video up later. But this is what he wrote right after the meeting happened. They cheated and defrauded the American people at levels never seen before in the political arena. Kamala Harris, during early voting and immediately before the election day, was asked a question and gave an answer that was so bad and incompetent that it would have cost her many votes that she ended up getting. It was a disastrous answer. 60 Minutes and its corporate parents, in order that this not have negative impact on her, removed and deleted Kamala's entire answer, every word of it, and replaced it with a response that she gave later to an entirely different question. The new answer was not good, but it didn't show gross incompetence like the one that was removed by 60 Minutes. In other words, 60 Minutes perpetrated blah, blah, blah. He's obsessed, right? And he succeeded in getting the 60 Minutes producer basically to retire after 30 plus years. Okay. This person is always the first person to comment on every Trump post. Every time. I think it is Trump. He will not admit his flailingness. Where did that go? This is Biden's stock market. I'm sorry, sir. What? No, this is your stock market. It's 100 days of you, not Trump's. I didn't take over until January 20th. Tariffs will soon be kicking in. Yeah, that means we're going to pay even more, not them doing anything. Okay. And companies starting to move into the USA in record numbers. That's not true. Our country will boom, but we have to get rid of the Biden overhang. This will take a while. How long is a while, sir? I think 100 days is a while. Nothing to do with tariffs. In all caps, guys. Only that he left us with bad numbers, but when the boom begins, it will be like no other. Be patient. He had a whole rally yesterday, just talking about himself. Promises made, promises kept. Yeah, let's just look here. I mean, this is a ridiculous article from the Washington Examiner that is the most Trumpy. All you got to read is the title. Trump has been a champion for faith in his first 100 days. Pam Bondi is coming after people who are anti-Christian hard. If you are not a Christian, God-loving, fucking pumping up Jesus, but also saying that Trump was sent and anointed by God, you are anti-Christian. Just know that you will be prosecuted at all costs. Where's my Project 2025 tracker? Guys, we're at 41%. This is fucked, okay? Please keep track of this. The next thing they're working on here, Department of State, okay? The White House is 100% done, you know. Birthright citizenship is on here. We got these little guys down here at the bottom. Medicare and Medicaid. They haven't ruined that yet. Okay? Yeah. These things are creeping up, guys. This is not good. Please pay attention to that. Also, guys, there's new products in the store. Please come check out the store. I have made some brand new products, as you guys can see. Come get them. Come enjoy them. There's sweatshirts, there's hoodies, there's t-shirts with all new stuff on it. Democracy needs you. Okay? That's all I need to say. Democracy needs you. We need to fight for our rights. Please come get some great swaggity swag. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're here on the replay, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you to my mods who are the best in the business. All right. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe below and like this stream. And I will see you guys all next time. Thank you, as always, to my mods. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. We got to stand up. We got to make our voices heard here in America. Don't delay. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, subscribe. Become a member. Hit up my link tree. And I'll see you guys next time.
Lights getting burned and they're coming for you.